Mike Fiola from the Shelton Police Department in. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
It is cold out there, to be short. We, fortunately, the last couple days, however, all the snow that has come down, not seen much in the way of black ice and treacherous conditions in the downtown area, at least.
Yeah,
but,
and if you just jinxed us,
probably
I'm gonna make you come out and do the paperwork.
Probably did.
No, knock on wood.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
We have some more coming up here, and I know some of the highlands and above 500 feet out like Lake Cushman, they were getting really just pounded in the snow. So just be careful out there as everybody is trying to get from here to there. One of the good things, positive things that we've talked about over the years is goal setting. I know that's a big deal for you personally, and as you work up through the ranks in the police department, and the plans, strategic plans are coming up.
Yeah. Right? So one of my tasks or duties is to plan appropriately strategic planning for our department individually. So what we did is we brought all of our patrolmen together and said, hey, what are 4 or 5 things that you want to see us work on as a department that fulfill our mission, our vision, and our core values? So, we came up with a list, we shrank it down, and we came up with what we're going to do between 2019 all the way to 2024. Some things will be very fast to implement, and some things will be a lot more building blocks.
Mm-hmm.
But we're really excited about it. The first one is we're going to start effectively using technology. Welcome to the 21st century, Shelton PD. And what I mean by that is like social media.
Sure.
We have a city Facebook, and we have a city Twitter, but we don't have a police department Facebook, and we don't have a Facebook, a Twitter for the police department. So we've been a little bit behind the times, and so we're going to catch up. And the Facebook's going to be for press releases and public information, but also the funny sides, like what our family looks like inside the police department. To humanize us.
People
to
like to see that.
Exactly,
Absolutely.
like the goofy stuff we do and fun facts about us. Like that's what the Facebook will be about, and just kind of letting people know, hey, we're here.
Side note on that one, it has gone, I think, pretty viral. The Darrington Police Department up
the
snow,
fight?
and the guys had the big snowball fight with the kids.
Did you see that?
You see that video?
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, a handful of cops up there. They came out.
They came out with riot
responding
shields
to a
and
call,
stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they had a snowball fight with a bunch of kids.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was pretty
so
cool
cool
to see that.
I'll have to look that up. But and those are the things we would post. Like people will send us pictures. Hey, I saw your officers playing hoops with the kids, or they send us pictures of officers doing cool things, and we've done a really poor job of sharing the good. Yeah. So we're gonna start doing that. And the Twitter's gonna be for more like emergency situations, like hey, stay away from Wallace Neal Boulevard. We have something going on, or missing person. Something like it'll be like more immediate. Let's get the information out as fast as we can.
Oh, that's good.
That's number one. Number two is an officer wellness program. So, law enforcement's it's a stressful job.
Yeah.
You work all around the clock. It's hard on your body. There's a lot of stress.
Sure.
A lot of officers succumb to mental health issues, and it could be really sad when you see officers that actually end their own life. And there's some studies on that. So we want to make sure that we take a proactive role in making sure our officers are not only great on the streets, but also great at home and have a backup system to help them out. And those things are for everything, counseling, finances, anything that we can do through our employee assistance program, we're going to build that up. And peer support groups, all the above. And so we're going to, that's a big goal for us. The creation of a department mentorship program. So like the chief has talked about, we're a very young department. Yeah. Very young. Great cops, but we want to make sure that they get to that next level, whether they want to be, K-9, or if they want to be a sergeant or an FTO or administrator. We want our detective. We're setting up the senior officers as the mentors, lining up training documents for them to make sure that we take each officer, we sit them down, we individualize where is it you want to go? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? How can we help you do that? Whether it is college reimbursement, whether it's getting them to specialized training that they're interested in, letting them know that they're appreciated and they're a vested part of our department, and we want to make sure that they're happy. And then we want to prove our communication internally. So as anybody who's been in a relationship will say, you stink at communicating, right?
Sure.
So we've all heard that. At least, okay, maybe I've heard that. But we got to do a better job at that. And so we're looking at ways to better communicate internally, because in my era, it was memorandums. Like you get a memo in your box, that's how we talk. Yeah. And all the new kids are like, they want it on the phone. They want whatever it is now these days. They talk differently than the older group.
Police Snapchat.
Yeah. Oh God, don't get me started. So, those are the things that we've got to look at from an administration standpoint. Like Darren and I are like, come from an era, and this new era is different.
Yeah.
There's a generation gap, and we have to make sure that we talk their language so that they feel that they have the ability to speak up the chain of command and say, hey, this is an issue I think needs addressed, and that we're just not memo or email pushers, if that makes sense.
So when you talk about these things, you're second in command, chief above you there, do you feel like, and I know you've moved up through the ranks here since you started in 2003, but do you get a sense that you're going to be able to have good communication, get the input and the buy-in from the rank and file officers, and it's not just going to be, well, we're listening to you,
right,
but we're hearing you, but we're not really listening to you, something like that?
Yeah, and that's something you have to watch for, especially in like a police department, or it's paramilitary in the sense that there's a rank structure, right? You go top to bottom, and you can push things down people's throats, and they'll do it because it's an order, but are they really listening? Are they really buying in? So that when we did the strategic planning, we reached out to the officers, and they were part of the process. So these are the things they wanted.
And they felt like they were heard. They're being heard.
We feel that they were heard because this was their baby, for lack of better words. And so I feel that by getting that buy-in from the officers, it will help. And like you said, I grew up in this agency. Shelton's been very good to me. Started from a patrolman to a sergeant to lieutenant to captain, done everything in between. And, I've been in those situations where you just get forced, this is what you're going to do, and you're going to smile. Okay, 3 bags full, and you drive on. But you don't really have that buy-in. And right now, I feel like the culture at our agency right now is the buy-in's there.
Good.
The guys and gals, they're happy. We're making great strides. If we could, get people into jail, it'd be nice. But other than that, we have these police officers that want to do their job, and there's only when you can't put people in jail, it's really hard to do that. So we have to find other ways to make their jobs happy, or make them feel fulfilled in what they're doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, it sounds like some county leaders they're at least starting those conversations, perhaps on the jail or
they need to happen.
They sure do.
Yeah, they do.
We hear these stories all the time, and it's only a matter of time when people go, listen, there ain't no room at the inn, and we know that. No, we gotta keep our community safe, and we owe it to the citizens of this town to put people in jail that should not be out and about. Is it tougher because Shelton is the only incorporated city in the county? Do you feel like you have a better place to talk about the reasons why this is important versus a community like Belfair or a community like Matlock, for example?
Right. Yeah, and I don't think that just because we're the city, we have a bigger voice than any of those communities you just listed. But I will say that as the county seat, this is a place where people come for business. This is where everything happens, for lack of better words, and we deal with it on the front lines every day, and so do the deputies. But we have people walking around here that are dangerous, and we can't put them in jail. And the problem is that the community leaders that are in charge of this, they're not the ones that got to hear the disgruntled citizen who just had their car broken into, or car stolen, or their business burglarized, and we have to say, sorry, we can't take them to jail. And try explaining that. Yeah. So
that's a tough one.
It's a tough one. So we're hoping things change.
Well, good luck on that one.
Yeah.
We'll keep our eyes and ears to the ground on what's happening there. If there's more information that we can share along, we certainly will. February is another emphasis patrol. This time, again, still distracted driving. Is that what it is?
So the Shelton Police Department teams up with the Washington State Traffic Safety Commission to get grant funding for Target Zero management. So we're basically trying to bring our fatalities to zero. So in the beginning of February, this is the warning that goes out, is put the cell phones down while you're driving. In Washington State, you can't have it in your hand, can't have it to your ear, can't have it in your hand on speaker mode. It cannot be in your hand.
Right.
And we will be enforcing that, and there will be it'll be enforcement through education through enforcement. So they'll be getting tickets, and we got to put the cell phones down.
Is it a primary offense now or secondary?
Primary.
So if you guys see somebody, you can pull them over for that.
Absolutely. So, I know it's hard. Like, trust me,
it's hard.
We're all guilty of it.
Yeah.
But put the phone down. It's just I can't tell you enough. We've gone to too many accidents where people have been hurt or killed, and it's all because they were checking a text message or something stupid.
Especially in our area too, where you're looking at everything from wildlife to curves and black ice.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
this weekend coming up, maybe more snow and ice on the roads.
And I think that I know I have an Apple phone, and I think mine, it does like a thing where it won't let you. If you set it, try to do that. Whatever you can. It's a $136 fine, and like I said, there's no warnings.
You can buy quite a few Bluetooth speakers for $136.
That's a good point, Jeff.
You know what I started doing was putting my phone tucked in the back seat, like on just the back seat, and I have my Bluetooth in my ear. And if I have to make a phone call, I just say, "Hey Siri, call whatever," and then there's no temptation.
You can't even reach it.
You know what I mean? That's a good idea, and you can still have access in an emergency to use your phone.
Yeah, I've heard of people putting it in their glove box just because if you see that, if it dings or you see the image or you see something pop up on your screen, you're like, "Oh, what's that?"
Yeah, I got to take a look. You never know what's
exactly.
So liked my last photo. Mike, it's good to see you, buddy.
All right, it's good seeing you
Stay
guys too.
warm out there
You
as
too.
you check in on what things are going on.